Hi all once again. So just bring another update on week 4 of the Strada Easel challenge. And overall I feel like this was a very fun week. This was day 22 to 28, but then it was a 30-day challenge, so there's 2 extra days. So this was a 9-day week, let's say. And those 2 last days I decided I wanted to do something special. And yeah, I was able to just line up some things just right. And yeah, for those 2 last days, I have a couple of nice things that I'm gonna show you at the very end, of course. So yeah, let's start with day 22. So this is day 22. I was once again late at night. I did it in 20 minutes, this one, and it was like 11:30 or something. I just needed to get my painting on that day. It got late. So what I did is I got a small succulent, I think that's called. Those plants that are kind of like cactuses, or cacti, but they are not. So yeah, I got one of those. It was like this big. And I just painted it on my iPad. The background, it was some clothes there, and that they were a very similar color to the pot where this thing was planted. So here a little bit of the challenge was showing where the shadow was, and to differentiate the pot from the clothes. Getting the texture for the soil, which I don't know if you can see here. Maybe you can't, but if you want to see a closer look, you can also check my Instagram account, which is down below. So I wanted to get some texture on the soil there, and kind of like the leaves or petals or whatever from the succulent. So yeah, this was nice. It was very quick, so it is very loose, but yet it was very nice. I really enjoyed this one too. Day 23, I started painting tools. So these wire clippers. This was interesting because they were a little bit rusty. I don't think I got the rust, just the color that I wanted it to be. But at least you can see it is rust. And rust sometimes shows in these colors, so it is okay. Also, I did a little bit of a difference between the rust that is on the shadow side from the rest of the, on the side that the light hits. So that was okay. That was nice. And here I'm also learning a little bit of a looser brush work, which I started working on when I painted the tennis shoes. I think that was week 2. That I just took my brush and I was doing like longer strokes, and just with the tip of the flat brush, and I was putting some nice strokes. And this one has some of that here and here on the handles. So that was nice. I feel like I'm slowly polishing on this technique of just painting with the tip of the brush, and having it being a little bit more loose. Also, not worrying too much about covering every single part of the paper, but I can leave some white spots here and there. So that is I feel like that looks nice. It's very loose as well. I like that look on paintings. Day 24, and at this point I had gotten some new eyeglasses because I couldn't see anything. So yeah, these were the ones that I got, and I'm so happy with them that I was like, I'm gonna paint these things. Here the challenge once again is getting the glass to look like glass, like it is transparent, but there's something in there. So yeah, I mostly just did some, the bright highlights there, and I feel like that helps a lot. And to get it to be like, there's some 3-dimensionality to it, the shadows, that they help a lot with that. So yeah, this is okay. Again, this is very loose, just like I said with the last painting, just using the very tip of the flat brush and putting those strokes. I'm honing it into that, so yeah, slowly getting there. Day 25, I was kind of like rearranging some stuff in my room, and I found this old camera, which I think I'm going to be using a lot more because it is very, very pocketable, and I could have it in my pocket like all the time. Like this could be part of my EDC. So yeah, this small Sony camera, and again, just playing around with the white spaces, not trying to paint every single corner of the paper, and that's how I got the highlights here, especially on the lens. The rest I did use some white, of course, but yeah, this is day 25. It was an okay day. I don't think I have many complaints on this one. Day 26. This is one of the ones that got more likes on Instagram. Funny enough, I think even the Strada people, they reposted it, so that made me very happy. But yeah, just some, those old 3D lenses that you used to find on, games and so on, kid games. And yeah, here it was interesting because the light was hitting from this side, just like it is hitting right now. So I had some light going through the blue, let's say, lens, or this clear part, and it had a little bit of a blue. It casted a little bit of a blue shadow here, as well as on the red side there was a little bit of a red thing going on. So I feel like that was an interesting thing. So I saw it and I was able to have it here. Now, one thing that bothers me here is that this one looks way bigger than this one. And I know there's perspective and everything, but still this one should have been a little bit bigger, or this one a little bit smaller. I don't know, there was a little bit of an issue with the drawing there, but still looks okay, I guess. Day 27 here. And this one I feel like it might be difficult to understand somehow. So this is my girlfriend had a cat who passed away in February this year, and before we had it cremated, we were able to get like a like a ghetto mold of one of its paws. I think it was the left paw, the front one, and on Play-Doh, and then I poured some, how do you call that? I don't know, some plaster, I guess, or something like that, and we were able to get a cast of his paw. And yeah, I did this, but I think I have to, make a nice box. But once again, I'm getting off topic. So this is what I painted this day. I don't know how clear it is, but yeah, this is what it was. Maybe the painting could have been better, but yeah, I don't know. I guess once again, I probably was tired because most of this, the second and third week, and the fourth week, I mean, the third and fourth week, I did those paintings very late at night. So yeah, I was having some challenges dealing with my tiredness at this point. But yeah, this day 27, this is what it was, just in case you have doubts on it. Day 28, here I'm getting closer to that loose brushwork that I'm talking about. You can kind of see it here, especially in those letters, even the blue background. It is very, very loose. Those Chinese characters as well. They actually look like the Chinese characters that were on the package. And overall, I feel like it is nice and loose and not too, rigid or anything. So I like that very much. Also, you can see that, kind of like the disposition of the elements. The box and the card, it was tilted up and everything. So yeah, this one was also a nice one. Now, one interesting thing that I've been finding on these paints, on these Daniel Smith paints, is that the white and the black sometimes they tend to separate, and the ivory black, it granulates. So that's an interesting effect, and I just wanted to see how it worked here. And yeah, you can see some of that on these corners. And here I just kind of like threw the paint, let's say, and see how it reacted with the paper. And yeah, the black was kind of granulating. It was even granulating on my palette, which is a small ceramic plate, kind of like this size. And it was granulating there. So that was an interesting thing that I discovered with those paints. But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting again. But yeah, overall, this one I like quite a bit. And now we'll see day 29 and 30, which are were the most fun of the whole challenge, I think. So on day 29, I joined the local group of urban sketchers. And yeah, I know this one is not urban sketching. This one is once again still life. 3 pineapples. We went to the farmer's market, and the idea was there to paint the small stands that all the farmers had, and to paint the stands and the people as well, because that's the point of urban sketching. But I had not done that in the longest time ever, so probably like 15 years. So I was like, let me do one of my usual still lives just to get, warmed up, and then I can do something else. So that day I think I did 3 paintings, but this one is the one that I chose for the challenge, let's say the warm-up still life that I did during the sketch walk on the local farmers market here. So once again, this one is the epitome, I feel like, of loose brush work. Let me show you a little bit closer. So those pineapples, they're just layers on top of layers of different colors and values and so on. And yeah, that's how I got the texture of those pineapples, which I think it's really good. I really like it. I don't like too much the tarp. I don't know, the cover of the stand that was there. The strokes were just way too thick. But yeah, this supposedly was the sky, which pretty much, just ignore it. Because, yeah, I don't like it at all. But the pineapples themselves, I think I was able to find, to polish those loose brush strokes here. So I'm really, really happy with this one. So yeah, day 29 was a fun day overall too. I met some people, and yeah, that's always fun. Then for day 30, I have been reading this book, which is from Remington Robinson, and he wrote this book about painting, small paintings, miniature paintings, on those Altoid tin cans. I had already kind of talked a little bit about this and saying that I was going to do a review or something that might come later. But yeah, by this point I was like, let's do something very different for the last day of the challenge. So I put myself together one of these sets. So I did my own thing here, which I don't know if it's going to show or not because the lights are hitting a little weird. But yeah, this is what it is. I used 5 colors. This is oil painting, by the way. So white, yellow, red, blue, and black. Did all my mixing here. And this day, by the time I finished putting this together, and I'm going to show you in a second why, it was also pretty late at night. It was like 11 at night. And I was like, where can I go and paint in a safe place where nobody's going to bother me? So I was like, I'm just going to go to my closest McDonald's and have something to eat and park there and just paint whatever I see. So, of course, I painted the kind of like the parking lot there. This is the McDonald's and, the famous Golden Arches sign. So, yeah, this was a lot of fun, having a small kit like this and painting out of that. You really need the small brushes, by the way. I used kind of like a medium-sized, and I was always having to be super careful to use the sharpest tip I could ever get in order to do all those lines. But overall, yeah, this was a lot of fun. Now, this was not, I didn't just take this thing but I did myself sort of like an easel, if you want to call it like that. So this is two boards of plywood. I think it's 4mm plywood. And what I did is that I embedded or sandwiched two magnets here, to one of two of those neodymium magnets that are super strong. And what I do is that I put it here, and the tin can stays there. So I just grab it like this. I have here my solvent and my medium here, which I'm not using that much anymore. I'm using pretty much just solvent lately. So yeah, with my brush, I was dipping here, doing my mixes, painting, and this was a lot of fun. Now what I was using is to paint on. It is I don't know how do you call these boards, but it's like foam in the middle and then cardboard on the sides. And on top of that, I glued a piece of that paper that is already kind of like pre-gessoed for oils and acrylics. And that's the panels that I made. I think this is 5 by 8 centimeters, just like this guy recommended on his book. And yeah, so this is a small thing that I put together. I'm gonna be refining these, pseudo easel that I made. I'm gonna be putting a little bit more work into it to make it look nice, and to have it some other stuff, and make it a little bit more ergonomic, because this thing kind of like digs into your hand after a while. But yeah, so if you wanna go and make a video of this and talk a little bit more about it later on. But this was the challenge. I wanted to wait a little bit more until I did this video, just because I wanted to see if I would win any of the prizes, which I didn't, by the way. But I just wanted to know before I did the video, just in case, because it would have been nice to be able to say it here. And yeah, I think there was like 13 winners. It was like 5 easels and 5 brush kits, and 4 brush kits and 4 paper or canvases sets or something like that. But yeah, among 700 plus people, it was quite a stretch. So I knew it was gonna happen. So yeah, I was kind of like focusing on just learning during the process, and I actually enjoyed it so much that I am taking part on, I'm not gonna say Inktober, because I'm not doing Inktober. I'm doing Peachtober this year. I feel like it's a more open-minded challenge where you can do whatever you want, and there's not as much snobbery behind it. If you don't do pure ink, or if you don't do something that is not exactly, according to the rules, a bunch of people is gonna start leaving, some crazy feedback, and I am bored. I'm sick of that. I don't want to go through that. So I was like, let's do a Peachtober. And that's what I'm doing for October. I'm posting on Instagram, and I don't think I'm going to do a video of that every week. Might do maybe one in the middle of the challenge and one at the end, or maybe just one by the end with the paintings that I like more. But yeah, by the way, I'm doing it all in digital, because on this challenge I really enjoyed digital painting the most. And that's what I'm gonna do. So thank you for listening to this long video, and see you on the next one. Take care, have fun.